Have you ever wondered why some people crumble when life hits them hard, while others seem to emerge stronger, sharper, and more dangerous? What's the difference between those who fade into the background and those who rise, untouchable, regardless of the chaos around them? It's not strength that gives them power. It's the mind that can stay sharp and cold in the face of adversity, the mind that will own the world. This isn't about being invincible, it's about being unbreakable. The strongest people are those who master their mental game, not because they avoid hardship, but because they know how to use it. Comfort stunts growth. The mind that craves ease will never rise to greatness. Face it head on, feel its sting, and then study it. You scroll on your phone, eat too much, lose yourself in Netflix, or rely on people for validation. In that space of discomfort, your mental muscle grows. You don't retreat, you stay focused. While others seek pleasure, you build your mental fortitude. Every time you feel hurt, angry, or betrayed, you react. Your emotions hijack your decision-making, cloud your judgment, and make you vulnerable. And vulnerability is a doorway to manipulation. While they run, you learn. And that, my friend, is where power is born. Pain can teach you incredible lessons, but only if you master how you respond to it. You don't suppress your feelings. You don't numb them, you learn to harness them. You feel the heat, but you don't move unless it's calculated. You stay still and let your mind remain focused. But here's the truth, none of that will make you stronger. Pain reveals your weaknesses, and those who dare to sit with their pain without running from it are the ones who transform it into strength. It will remain stagnant, dependent on fleeting pleasures and distractions, unable to weather life's storms. They wear their scars as badges of honor, their suffering as a story that's too familiar to let go of. But that's exactly what keeps them weak. Power is not earned through victimhood. Power is earned through rewriting the narrative of your life. Once you stop allowing your emotions to drive you, you become unpredictable. You don't need to explain yourself to anyone. You don't need to respond to every provocation. Your actions speak louder than words ever could. And that, my friend, is where dominance begins. Life can break your body. It can break your heart. But if you let it break your mind, you've already lost. People learn your triggers. They understand how to manipulate you, how to hurt you. And every time you react the same way, you confirm that you're still not in control. Life will break you. It won't ask if you're ready. It won't give you a heads up, but it will give you the greatest gift if you learn to seize it. The greatest weapon you'll ever possess is mental control. And that, my friend, is what Machiavelli's cold law of mental power is all about. Section 1. Seek control, not comfort when life hits. What do most people do? They immediately seek comfort. A text from a friend, a quick binge on Netflix, a drink, a party, anything to dull the sharp edge of reality. Pain is inevitable, but discomfort is to be avoided at all costs, or so they believe. The truth is, comfort is the enemy of power. To build a mind that is truly powerful, you must rewire it to seek control, not comfort. When pain comes, don't hide from it. You have been conditioned your entire life to find distractions when life gets hard. True power comes when you stop seeking comfort and learn to control how your mind reacts to hardship. Section 2. Break free from emotional reactions. Imagine for a moment that your greatest weakness is no longer the world around you, but your emotional reactions to it. Pain is inevitable, yes, but how you interpret it, how you let it shape your reality, that is where true power lies. Emotion is the enemy of clarity. When you react to the world emotionally, you become predictable. Machiavelli understood this deeply. Emotions are a tool, not a ruler. Mastery over yourself, that is the true form of power. Section 3. Rewrite your narrative. There's a dangerous trap that most people fall into. They let their past define them. They wear their scars as badges of honor, their suffering as a story that's too familiar to let go of. But that's exactly what keeps them weak. Power is not earned through victimhood. Power is earned through rewriting the narrative of your life. Your pain is not your identity. Your trauma doesn't define you, and yet, most people wear their pain as a crutch, as a reason why they can't succeed, why they can't move forward. Rewrite your story. You have the power to discard the narrative of victimhood and replace it with one of resilience, strength, and domination. Every setback you've faced is just a lesson in disguise. But pain doesn't dictate your future. You decide what happens next. Start asking yourself, what can I become because of this? But make sure that the person they re trying to talk to isn't who you are anymore. When you detach emotionally, you build inner power. And that power, it makes you untouchable. Rewrite your story until the past has no power over you. But let me tell you the truth. Isolation is where your mind becomes unstoppable. Solitude doesn't equate to loneliness. It's a place where you forge your mental strength. Maybe it feels like love, loyalty, or hope. But beneath that surface, attachment builds chains. You'll use that time to transform. And when you reemerge, you won't be the same person. You'll be sharper, more calculated, more dangerous. It ties you to people, outcomes, and circumstances. And what does that do? It weakens you. It creates dependency. And in that quiet, you'll find the parts of yourself that need to be broken down and rebuilt. They fill the silence with distractions: TV, social media, people. But you're about to sit in the silence and let it sharpen you. What if you remain calm, detached, and focused? What if, instead of giving into every emotional trigger, you learn to absorb the world's chaos and remain unaffected? You'll confront your weaknesses, your doubts, your regrets, and you'll start building the person you were always meant to be. It's strength. Strength comes when you no longer give power to others' words, actions, or opinions. You've reinforced the walls inside of you. Now, nothing that isn't truth can get through. The process isn't pretty. It's painful, but it's necessary. And once you learn to spot those weaknesses, you'll never be vulnerable in the same way again. It feeds your emotions, and with every connection, you lose a part of yourself. Once you do that, your life will no longer be dictated by the circumstances, the pain, or the betrayal. You become the writer, not the character. You are not your suffering. You are what you choose to become after it. Pain doesn't show up to break you. It shows up to show you what's wrong. It exposes your vulnerabilities. It reveals where you need to grow. Pain is your greatest teacher. When life breaks you, it's not a sentence, it's an invitation to become something else. You dissect it. You take it apart piece by piece until you understand why it hit so hard. And then, you use it. You use it to create a strategy. You turn your pain into precision. Stop asking for sympathy. Stop looking for validation. People will try to remind you of who you were. Let them. Section 4. Detach and build inner power. He built his power by observing, calculating, and detaching when necessary. He knew that to become truly untouchable, he had to detach emotionally from anything and anyone who didn't serve his vision. Attachment is the quiet thief of power. At first, it feels harmless. When you stop depending on the approval, validation, or comfort of others, you regain your emotional independence. That's where true freedom lies. You build your power not by holding on, but by knowing when to let go. Machiavelli didn't rise to power by clinging to anything. You cannot control the world, but you can control your mind. And once you start letting go, you'll see that the things you thought you needed were only chains disguised as comfort. Section 5. Isolation is where strength is forged. The world tells you that being alone means you're broken, weak, or lost. In isolation, there's no noise, no distractions, no expectations. There's only you. Most people run from isolation because they fear what they'll discover. You'll feel the fear, the discomfort, and the doubts, but you won't flinch. Section 6. Turn pain into precision. Here's something most people never realize. Pain is a teacher, not an enemy. But here's the key. While others react to pain emotionally, you learn to analyze it. Life doesn't throw punches to destroy you. Life throws them to show you where your weak spots are. Section 7. Become emotionally immune. The world is full of emotional traps. It will bait you, provoke you, and try to make you react. But what if you didn't react? That's emotional immunity. It's not numbness. It's not numbness. It's strength. Strength comes when you no longer give power to others' words, actions, or opinions. You've reinforced the walls inside of you. Now, nothing that isn't truth can get through. This isn't about being unkind. It's about protecting your peace. You'll no longer shrink for anyone. You'll no longer waste your energy on people who don't respect your boundaries. Emotional clarity becomes your shield. Section 8. Weaponize your presence. Their presence speaks louder than words ever could. And that's what you're learning now. Why you don't beg for their approval. Why your silence is more powerful than their words. Your silence is your strength. It's not passive. It's the calm before the storm. You're learning to be someone who commands attention without saying a word. You walk into a room and suddenly, everyone takes notice, not because you've done anything, but because your presence is so sharp, so deliberate, that it forces respect. Powerful people don't have to shout. They don't have to argue or explain themselves. People will wonder why you don't react the way they expect. Section 9. The unbreakable mind. You'll feel the weight of the world pushing you down. But you won't break. Not because life has become easier, but because your mind has become unshakable. What happens when you face betrayal? When everything seems lost? When life tests your resolve, again and again, you've been forged in pain. Tested in isolation, built by your own hands. And now, you walk as a weapon, not a victim. The unbreakable mind doesn't fold under pressure. It doesn't bend to the whims of the world. It remains cold, calm, and always in control.